So this is a time of the year that a lot of people like to set goals or work on manifesting their dreams. And today I have a interesting tool that you can use that I have used on my clients that has really had incredible results. And the tool's going to be at the end. And if you've watched this video before, you can skip ahead to the part at the end where you actually use it. But in the meantime, I need to explain it to you a little bit. And I'm going to start by talking a little bit about how we manifest. If you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with manifesting. You should know that your thoughts create your reality. So for example, if you are thinking things like, I'm never going to succeed in my life, I'm never going to attract the right person in my life, you're sending out that signal that that's going to happen. And the same goes with what you want in your life. If you're sending out things like, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to manifest this, then those signals you're sending out to the universe should come back to you. But a lot of times what's holding us back are our limiting beliefs. And our limiting beliefs are things like, okay, I'm going to be super successful in my career this year. Let's just say you really need to get specific with your goals instead of say, I'm going to be successful. Well, what does that mean? So let's just say, you own your own business. Just easy example. And last year, you profited, let's say 200,000 or something. And this year you want to, get to 400,000 by the end of the year. So that is your goal. You need to be specific about your goal. You don't want to just say, I want to be more successful, because then what if you make 200,099 cents? Okay, yeah, you were better than last year, but you weren't specific enough. So a lot of times we need to get more specific with our goals. But sometimes our limiting beliefs hold us back. Like, how the heck am I going to do that? The economy is bad, or, business is slow, or I don't know, or I lost 3 employees. And so you're going to be like, oh my gosh, how is this going to be possible? A lot of times we don't believe that. Or if it's like you're chasing a partner of your dreams, you're like, well, I just keep attracting the wrong kind of person, and I just don't think it's possible. Maybe nobody will love me. And so these little programs that are going on in your head are preventing you from manifesting. And so this tool that I'm going to tell you about is you need to think about your specific goal or what it is that you're trying to manifest. And you can do this many different ways. You can have one specific goal, or you can have several goals. A lot of times when I'm working with a client, they might be working on one specific thing, like, okay, I'm really trying to manifest that person of my dreams. So we make their goal more about what it is, like, let's get that relationship you want. Or there might be a lot of things that they want. They're like, okay, I would like to be living off of the coastline, and I want to be married to so-and-so, and I want to be financially stable. So there's a lot of different things. You can group those all into one thing, or you can do several different goals or manifestations, if you will. And what I'm going to have you do today is I want you to really just focus on one goal. And another way you can do it is focus on the one goal, but afterwards, if you want to, go through and make several goals. And it's good to go and make goals in all areas of your life, because there's when I'm working with people, there's 6 different areas of life. There's physical health, career, relationships, spiritual, personal growth, and family. And you want all those to be in balance. So let's just say right now you are very successful in your career. You're doing incredible in your career, but your family life and your relationships is really sucking. So you want it to be balanced in all of those areas of your life. So you want to take, not saying that it's going to take away from your career and say, oh, I'm not going to be that successful now, and now I'm going to be more successful in relationship. You want to give attention and energy, that same attention and energy you're giving to that career, you want that in all areas of your life, so you're more in balance. So that's why I suggest to people that try to make a goal in each area of life. But for now, what I want you to do is I want you to focus on a specific thing that you want, whether it be health or wealth, a relationship, whatever it is that might be going on in your life that you've been struggling with. Just focus on one for this exercise, and you can come back to this video and you can do it several times on different things. So take that one thing. And I know a lot of you watching are usually dealing with a health issue. I know there's other things that you're dealing with. So let's use that for example, because I think health issues are really difficult for people because it's hard for people to believe that they can heal themselves. And that's where the limiting beliefs comes in. It's like, well, I have no problem believing I can make money, or I have no problem believing that, whatever, something else, but it's hard to believe that I can heal my body. It's like, how is that possible? And you can think your body can heal. It regenerates itself constantly. I think it's like every year or something like that. Different body parts regenerate themselves like every 6 months or whatever. And when you get a cut on your finger, what happens? It heals, doesn't it? So why can't your body heal from all this other stuff? A lot of times all that is that you're holding on to emotional baggage, emotions, whatever you want to call it, and those get caught up in certain areas of your body. That's why it's good to meditate and do other release work, if you will, breath work, NLP, hypnosis, different things to kind of pull that stuff out of your body. And but just by doing some meditations and things, you can help to remove some of that stuff. And so let me start with the goal. So the idea is to think of a goal. And let's just say you want to get healthy. Let's just say that you have, what's a common thing? Let's just say allergies. Okay, let's say you have allergies. And you're just sick and tired of having these allergies, and you cannot heal them no matter what you do. So you want you want to be allergy free by a certain date. I'll even throw in some other examples too. Let's just say relationship, okay, or money. You need to set a goal, and you need to think of a date in mind. And there's two different ways you can do this. The best way that I like to do it is to think of it like a journal entry. So what you're going to do is you're going to think of a date in the future when you think this is possible. So like if you're trying to make $1 million in a month, does your mind really believe that in 1 month from now you are going to have $1 million? Make it a little more realistic, because then your brain and your body will believe it more. So let's just say you want to make $1 million by the end of the year. For health, just sometimes people can have that in a month, they're healed. People will have that instant healing. Sometimes just through a lot of work, it'll take, let's say, 6 months or a year, whatever you feel is comfortable for you. But don't stretch it too far. Don't say, 5 years from now, because it's almost like your body's like, okay, let's just take our time. So make it a shorter time period, but also more realistic. So whatever you feel. I always tell people usually 6 months to a year for things, unless it's something that's coming up soon. Like you want this vacation within 2 months and you're just like, I got to figure out the money, then make sure, well, if that vacation is in 2 months, I need to make sure I have that money by this date. So make sure you get that date down to have that by. So let's just say, excuse me, it's 6 months from now. And I'm just going to make a date. Let's just say July 1st, 2026. So you would write down, like a journal entry, you'd write July 1st, 2026, and write it like a journal entry. And you can, and if you want, like I said, you can combine a bunch of things together in there, but sometimes like your financial goals might be more like, oh, I want it by the end of the year. My relationship I want in 6 months. And I don't know, this promotion I want in 3 months. So whatever, you can combine things in and say 6 months, or you can do each one separate. But let's just say 6 months from now, you're like, okay, oh my goodness, I can't believe my allergies are completely gone. I went to the forest where the cedar trees were, and it didn't bother me at all. I even went into a moldy house, and normally I would have flared up, and it didn't. I went and visited my friend, and they have cats, and it never bothered me. You can kind of talk about like what brought you up to that point from now until that 6 month time period. Same with relationships. You can be like, okay, I've now, I don't know, you could say I've got a ring on my finger now, and we've got a date set, and I just can't believe how it all came together. You don't know how it came together. You're just like, wow, it was such a shock. And you want to make sure you're mentioning the emotions. You're like, oh, it was such an amazing thing. Oh, it felt so good, and I was in awe, or, just different things that, if you've learned about manifesting, a lot of it is about the emotions that you feel that get you to that point, because your brain doesn't really know the difference between something make-believe and something real. I mean, have you not ever had a dream where you wake up and the next day your heart is racing because you really feel like whatever happened in your dream really happened? That was just all in your head. Same thing, that you create these things and you really tie the emotions to it, your reality is going to form it. I can get into the science behind that, but you can look at other videos for that. I think we've even made a couple about that too. But whatever you think, you create. So put those emotions around it. Put those emotions in your journal entry. I'm so in love. He's so respecting of me. Or you can go financial wise and like, wow, I can't believe this happened. Put a lot of awe, and you're like, oh, it feels so good to be financially free. We've paid off all of our debts, or whatever it is you want to put in that journal entry. Put that on the journal entry. Now, something I also do with people, and I am in the process, and I'm hoping in the next couple weeks to have out a meditation that actually helps you remove this baggage out of you. Now, I do have a meditation right now. What is it called? It's the energy center ones that I have. It's like a chakra cleansing. And in that one, I actually have you go through each of the chakras, and it releases emotions and stuck things that are stuck in there. So you can do that for now, or you can find meditations that will release some of that. Or just kind of meditate and like allow anything that's holding you back to kind of be released. And I'll do a really short exercise with you here today too, to kind of help remove some baggage. But look for that meditation, because that one's going to be really good. That's something you'd want to kind of do on a daily basis, or when you find you're not believing it. So and I'm going to walk you through the process here in a little bit, so stay tuned. Once you do write that, I'm going to have you do an exercise where we're actually going to put it into your future. Like, how you have a timeline that exists. And on that timeline, you have your past, present, and future. So right now you're in your present. Things that happened in the past are kind of affecting you in the future or in the present, right? So a lot of times you're like, oh, that thing that happened to me in the past. Well, that thing that triggered caused you to be here today. So why can't that be the same for your future? You set a goal and you put it in your timeline in the future, that everything that's happening now is going to lead to that event. Just like if you were to go to the past and re-experience that thing, that would bring you to where you are today because of what happened in the past. So here, you're going to affect your present because you're putting something in the future. Does that make sense? But anyway, it's a really cool thing, and it's worked wonders for people. I mean, not only my clients, but like so many people that I've talked to where we've learned this tool. It's amazing the outcomes that people have had. And now don't be disappointed too if that date comes and it doesn't fully happen. What I do want you to do too, though, is kind of look back and be like, wow, okay, it's getting close, or things really started lining up. And that's where you kind of should reflect and be like, okay, well, it was working, but what was I lacking? Was there still some limiting beliefs? What actions did I need to take? Like if it's a financial goal or something, or if you're trying to meet somebody, I mean, you're going to sit around your house and just wait for them to come knock on your door. No, you need to kind of go out. Now, not saying that you're like, oh, I have to go to bars or something, but you know what I mean? It's like you have to put forth an effort. If you want to make the money, you're not just going to have a phone call, which that could just happen. You have this random phone call, somebody calls you, but let's just say there's like a specific house that you want to buy. Well, you have to go look for the house, right? You can't just like have it fall in your lap, which again, that could happen too. But a lot of times there are some action steps we need to take for your health too. You probably should be meditating more on getting your health better. You don't want to be eating a bunch of junk food, because that's not really going to help your health, is it? If you're trying to get to an ideal weight, you want to be muscular, you want to go work out. So there are some steps you're going to need to take. But it is amazing how if you believe strong enough, there's not many action steps you take. It's just the belief alone is the action step, and keep on believing. And as you're working towards getting to that goal, you'll notice like, man, I don't know. It's still 3 months from now, and I don't know if I'm going to meet that special someone. Right there, when you start doubting, that's when you need to go and you need to do some release work. You need to be like, okay, wait. I need to let go of some of these limiting beliefs. I need to meditate on that. I need to maybe journal, like different things. You need to just kind of reflect, oh, wait. You need to change your thoughts about, no, wait. It is possible. So it's all about changing your mindset and working towards that goal. And anytime you feel like there's emotional baggage coming up, just go through and release that. And again, like I said, I'm working right now on that meditation. And so you can look for that one. That one's going to be really good at kind of removing that emotional baggage. Okay. So let me step you through that again. And then what I'm going to have you do is you could pause this tape and come back, and then we'll do the exercise. So let me walk you through it again. Now, these are some things I want you to think about too, okay? So you're going to do a journal entry. You're going to write about it like you're on that date. So July 1st, 2026, just as an example. My life has been amazing. I met my partner, and we love hanging out with each other. He has a dog, and I love dogs, and whatever it is you want to do, and put those emotions in there. But I want to also have you, if you think about 4 different things: what, why, how, and when. So the when is obviously the date that you want it. Okay, be realistic about it. The what is obviously the thing like, okay, I want to be healed of my allergies, or I want this, whatever to be gone. I want the relationship. I want the money, whatever. I want to have the baby. That's your what. Now the why do you want it? You don't have to write this in your goal, but I want you to think about that before you write it. Why do you want it? Because that drives the emotions. So whether it's your health, why do you want it? Well, you could think about, I don't like feeling this way. Why do you want the relationship? I really would like a companionship. Why do you want the money? I feel I'm not secure enough in my financial status right now. So think of the whys. But then also under the why, think of what could happen if that doesn't happen. So if you don't heal, what would happen? So you can kind of think like, some of you might have some health issues that are really holding you back. Like, what would happen if you don't get it? You'd be like, well, man, I mean, my life would be kind of hard. I might not be able to work if this gets worse. I'm not going to be there for my children. So there's some, I know that they're negative, but that gives you the energy to want to do it. So think about what would happen if this doesn't happen. Now, the relationship, what would happen if you don't get that relationship? Well, you could think, well, I'd be lonely, but some of it would be like, well, I guess I'd be okay. So is there enough drive behind it if you're just like, I'd be okay if I don't get the relationship? But if you really, really want the relationship because you really want to have a family or something, you'd be like, oh, it's my goal. What would happen if that doesn't happen? You'd be like, well, I'd be really devastated. This has been my lifelong dream. That's good enough. That's a drive for you. The financial, well, I could lose my house or whatever it is, Give more of that oomph of why do you want it? The how, what has to happen for you to get it? Now, sometimes you don't know all the details. Or how does it happen? Some of that is what do you need to do? Okay, so it's like for a relationship, how does that need to happen? Well, maybe you just need to work on yourself, and that's where a lot of the release work comes in. Like, okay, I don't know if I'm worthy of a partner, or maybe I should just start making my appearance better. I do kind of like, I don't care much about the way I look, and, I'm just kind of like ho-hum about my attitude. So it's like, well, do you want to attract that kind of person, or do you want to be like confident in yourself? And then you're going to attract somebody that's kind of mirroring that, So there's things like that. Financially, how do you get to that point? Well, in your business, maybe start creating new ideas of what you could do, or that promotion. It's like, what, I do need to probably, I've been kind of getting to work like 30 minutes late, and, maybe I need to stand out a little more. So there are some things that you might need to do. And some of it, you could just be like, how? You just be like, I'm going to wait for the universe to let it happen. Then go for it. If that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. It's whatever you believe. You just need that emotion and that drive to get you to that point. So the what, why, how, and when, those are the important things. So once again, if you want to, here in a second, I want you to stop this tape, pause it, and get a piece of paper. I like to use a manifestation journal, and you write it all down in there, because then you can go, and it's just for manifesting. I do that. That's my own personal thing, because then you can go back, and even if there's small goals, like, oh, wow, next week I want to have this one thing accomplished, you can do that. But then you can go back and you can reflect on them. Maybe it's something from 5 years from now, maybe there's this huge financial goal that you want to attain or whatever, but you write them all in there. And then it's not something where you're going to go every day and look at it, but it's one of those things where you kind of look back and you'd be like, oh, okay, wow, okay, let me look at that. Yeah, it looks like it's going well. Or, yeah, that date came and went and things didn't quite turn out. Or like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened and more. So it's nice to have it kind of all in one place, because sometimes we kind of misplace pieces of paper if they're random. But if just for this exercise you want to do that, that's fine. So remind you again, write the date, what it is, act like it's that particular date. For example, July 1st, 2026. This is what's going on. This is how I got here. Put the emotions in it, put the feelings in it. Sign it at the bottom too. I think that's great to sign it. It like seals it with your name. Now, if you can't write, because I know some of you might not have, might not be able to write very well, record it. Record it and just say, okay, it is, and you're pretending, but feel it. Just imagine. You did that as a child, right? You imagined yourself doing things. You used to imagine that. You imagined yourself winning the baseball game. You imagined, walking up to that girl and asking her out, and she said yes, and you went on this date, and you imagined those things, right? So do that same thing here. So just imagine it is July 1st, 2026, and it's been an incredible 6 months. I can't believe what happened, blah, 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 and put the emotions in there and put what happened to get you to that point. And that's it. So go ahead and pause it. Take care of that now. Or if you want to watch the rest of the video, continue. So now we're going to move on to the release exercise. So you should have by now written it down. If you want, you can actually do this release before you write, because it kind of helps get some of the baggage out of the way before you write it. Because sometimes you go and you write and you're like, I don't believe this can happen. So sometimes even doing some release work before helps. But let's do the release. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it on your timeline. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of your goal. And go ahead and close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes and think of your goal. Think of getting your goal. And see if anything comes up about it. It may just be some doubts, some what ifs, maybe some emotions come up. So allow all those emotions to come up. And if you feel great about it, great. But I still want you to just ask your unconscious mind. You don't have to say it out loud. Just ask your unconscious mind to bring up any emotions, any negative emotions, any limiting beliefs, any limiting decisions that would hold you back from getting this goal. Just ask your unconscious mind to bring those to the surface right now. You don't have to feel the emotions, just allow them to come up. And now go ahead and we're going to allow our unconscious mind to help to release them. And so just watch and feel as these emotions are lifted off of you. Just watch them go. Let them go. You don't need them. Let them go. And then thank your unconscious mind for removing them, and to allow any learnings that need to be learned from those emotions or those limiting beliefs. Because oftentimes we hold on to these emotions because we haven't learned whatever lesson needed to be learned. So just preserve whatever learnings need to be preserved and fully let them go. Preserve the learnings and let go. And now what I want you to do is allow a light, a healing light above your head to come in through the top of your head and feel as it goes through your body and fill in any empty spaces left by the removal of these emotions and these limiting beliefs. Just allow that light to come in and fill you up and make you whole. And thank your unconscious mind for the removal of these emotions and these limiting beliefs. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Okay, and you can do this anytime that you need to. If you'd like to come back to the video and do this, you may. This is going to be kind of similar to the meditation that I do, but it's going to be a little more in-depth. So now that you've let go of some of these emotions and limiting beliefs, we're going to go through the process of actually putting this goal, this manifestation, into your future. So what I need you to do is I would like for you to imagine a timeline. Just imagine your life as a timeline. If it helps, close your eyes and think about an imaginary timeline and think about which direction would be the past. And then now that you've located that, which would be the future? Okay, you can open your eyes if you want. Now, oftentimes people will either say the past is one way and the future is the opposite. They may say it's behind them or in front of them. Whatever you have created, that's fine. There's even people that do like up and down, whatever you create. Now, if you couldn't see one, that's okay too. Your unconscious mind is going to do this work for you, okay? So now, wherever your timeline was, you are in the present of that timeline, okay? And so now you know what was the past. We want to know what the future is. Focus on where the future is, because what we're going to do is I'm going to have you create your goal and actually make like an internal representation of it, just like a visual, if you will. And if you have a hard time visualizing, just put some emotions into it. And you're going to create, don't do it yet, you're going to create like this ball of energy and kind of put it in there. And then what you're going to do is we're going to basically take that, imagine that you're taking that, and you're going to go on your timeline and you're going to go above the timeline, almost like you're floating above it and you're looking down at that future date. Again, I'm going to use the example of July 1st, 2026. So you're going to imagine your unconscious mind will lead you there. If you're like, I can't do this, your unconscious mind will do it for you. You're going to go above your timeline, and then it's almost like you're going to go plop and you're going to drop down that goal, that little internal representation of that goal into your timeline. Go put it in place, and then you're going to come back to now. And once you've done that, it's in the future, and your life is going to start going in that direction. Because right now, you may have a goal in your mind, but you're just kind of going like this through your life. And now that you have that goal, then your life is going to start going this direction towards that goal. So that's where putting this in your timeline really helps your body and your mind have something to work towards, instead of just kind of being wishy-washy about, well, I do want to make that money, but when is that going to happen? It's just like everybody says, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow keeps becoming tomorrow. So putting that exact date and putting it, bam, right there in your timeline really helps. Okay, so same thing. I want you to close your eyes on this, and I want you to think about your goal, your manifestation. And I want you to feel how it would feel to have that. If it helps, you can read through that goal right before you do this to kind of get the feelings going again. You can pause if you need to. But think about your goal. Imagine you are at that date. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to have that goal? Think about everything that's happened between now and then to get to that point. All the emotions you spoke about. Think of that feeling. Now in front of you, create a ball of light, and I want you to put that picture or those emotions. If you're good at being visual, put a picture in front of you. Or just put those emotions in that ball of light that's right in front of your chest. It's almost like it's right in front of your heart. It's coming out from your heart. You're creating this from there. Put it in front of you. Put it inside of there. Now, if you need to, if you can see it, I want you to intensify the colors. Make it more vivid. Make it more bright. Make it more crisp and in focus. If you have any emotions there, make those emotions more intense. Make them strong. That's what's going to really draw this to you. So now what I want you to do is I want you to, you're going to breathe some life into this. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. And now blow out some air. blow it onto that internal representation of your goal. Do it again. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe your energy into it. Give it life. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe that energy into that ball of your dream, of your goal, of your manifestation. And now, what I would like for you to do, remember that timeline that you saw in your head. I want you to, and if you don't see it, use your unconscious mind. Trust your unconscious mind to float up above your timeline. And then I want you to float into the future. Float into the future to that date of your goal. You're above the timeline still. Now you're looking up above that date. You're above the date, looking down on it. And now what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and just let go of that dream, that goal. I don't like to use the word dream, just goal. Because dreams become reality, right? Drop that goal down in the timeline. Click. Watch it go into place. And now I want you to go ahead, float back above your timeline to the present, and float back down into now. And whenever you're ready, just open your eyes and come back. And so that is the process. And you can come back to this video if you need to do this with several goals. Or if you've got it in your mind, you can just do it on your own. I know sometimes for me it helps to have somebody guide me through it. But now all I want for you to do is to think about that goal. Even think about it right now. Like, how does that goal feel to you now? You've removed some of the baggage around it, and now you've put it in the future. Does it feel more aligned? Does it feel more possible to have that goal? Do you feel excited about it? So just remember that feeling. Keep that inside of you. And anytime you start to get doubts, start reflecting on that. Oh, why am I thinking that? Oh, wait, stop. You just kind of stop yourself. And like I said, if you need to do some removal work, you can come back and do that little short part that I did before you dropped it on your timeline. Or, like I said, I've got that meditation coming out soon. Or you can find other ways if you have other tools you can use. And I would love to... Now, this... one more thing I want to say. A lot of times it's kind of like a birthday wish. You know, people are like, oh, don't tell anybody your wish. It won't come true. If you feel comfortable telling people about your goal, that's fine. But also remember, sometimes when you tell people about your goals, they can give negative energy towards it. Like, oh, I'm going to be making $1 million by the end of this year. And to be like, yeah, right. So either they put the energy in it or they give you the doubt by them going, yeah, right. Then inside you're like, oh, maybe it's not possible. So a lot of times it's good to kind of keep it to ourselves. Don't keep it secret. Like if your husband or wife or whoever is open to hearing these things, or your best friend is like on this journey with you and they're like, yeah, let's create these goals. You know, if you have friends that are like that and they're very supportive of it, then go ahead and share those things. But I often tell people, just kind of keep it inside of you. It's your creation. It's like some of these people that are like, they have this great idea and then they share it and somebody else steals their idea kind of thing. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, now it's not mine. You know, it's not as good. So do your best on maintaining that path, because right now, your life is headed towards that. And anything you want to do different that might be negative is going to start steering you away from that path. And you don't want that. You want to get back on that path. You know, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where are these thoughts taking me? No. I want to go, this is where I'm going. I want this, truly want this. And celebrate when you start seeing signs of things happening. Or even when you get there and you're like, okay, it didn't happen 100%, but it was like at 85%. Well, that's great. And if it's like, yeah, none of that happened, then reassess it. I haven't had anybody that's been like, none of it happened at all. Everybody's had something happen, at least to show that it's working towards it. You know, like if it's a financial goal, okay, well, they didn't double their profits, but they did increase them to where they're like, yeah, I was able to do a couple extra vacations this year. So they were happy and pleased with that. And that's where it's like, okay, that's where you probably need to work a little on, okay, maybe I still have some limiting beliefs around financial manifestation or whatever. And it's fine. It's a work in progress, but celebrate when you have some sort of a win. That's all I ask. And I know, come back to this video if this, like, you have great successes, or if you've done something similar like this and you've had great success, help motivate other people. Put that down in the comments. We'd love to hear about that. I love hearing success stories. So go ahead and share that. And thank you so much for watching.